Good evening and welcome to United Real Therapy, people. Good evening. It is absolutely tender hooks. We're watching Spain. There's 3 minutes to go, 2 minutes to go. And it's going to be penalties until somebody puts it top bin. And I'm sure a lot of people are watching it. A lot of people are watching it, but what a game. What a game this has been.
Quality, two styles of football clashing here, and it's just the intrigue's unreal, isn't it? It's mental.
Exactly. So here we go. Let me just do a proper intro. The legend, the man, the myth. It's not the myth anymore. The man that used to hug the mic on the United stand back in the day. Brother from another mother. Adam Matic, mate. Man like Adam Matic. How are you, Adam?
Good, mate. Good. Yeah.
Just going to Euros.
Mate, absolutely. Do you know what? It was a bit of a slow burner, wasn't it? And then as soon as the group stage is finished, bang, it took off, didn't it? Big time. Every single game has been absolutely brilliant. So it's just got you in the mood for the season, hasn't it? It's sort of just building you up ready, isn't it?
Building you up and all the trials and tribulations with Man United, Clickbait FC, mate. Clickbait FC.
Yep.
Online traffic FC, mate. That's what we are, mate. Jobs for the boys' business. That's who Man United are, mate. That's who they are. Jobs for the boys' business. Juan Mata, Lee Grant, everybody. You want to work at Man United? I might be able to have a word with Solskjaer. Or the bankers that are in charge, mate. The bankers that are in charge. They might get you a job, Adam. They might get you a job.
Mate, I think they're scared of me. Job there.
All you need to do is have a mate at Man United. You'll get a job straight away.
Mate, I tell you, you can choose whatever department you want at that club, couldn't you?
Exactly. Obviously, people are still watching this, Adam. I thought he'd be done in 90 minutes. I thought one of them would, Spain.
I didn't see Spain scoring, to be honest.
But Morata shot everybody up in it, and especially Spanish Twitter. The grief he gets from Spanish Twitter. My friend telling me,
I know.
But my friend is telling me that Spanish Twitter, football Twitter, is absolutely like that donkey Morata. Get him out of the team.
They hate him, mate. They absolutely despise him. But I'll tell you what, he's God tonight, isn't he?
He is. He's absolutely, Adam, tell me about Man United.
Penalties.
What do you reckon so far?
Well, to be fair, looking at it, I said about a week ago that if nothing had happened in about 2 weeks, then I'd start to worry. But obviously, Sancho over the line, done and dusted. Very unlike United to get a deal done before a major tournament has finished. But it's done and dusted. It's in the bag. And now everyone's just praying that we can get other business done, because listening to reports and listening to the people at the football clubs, it's literally as soon as that final whistle goes on Sunday, mate, the transfer window is just going to go into overdrive. It's going to go mental. If there are players out there we're being linked with, I do like the look of. I think they are the right players. It's whether they go over the line or not. That's the only thing with this football club, mate. Talk is cheap and we are skin. Let's put it that way. Are you muted?
A lot of people have been getting giddy and excited, mate. And people are getting super giddy and super excited and saying, oh, yeah, we're linked with this guy. That deal is done. You know how Clickbait FC works, mate. It's like some of the fan channels do it. Some of them are better than others. You know what I mean?
Mate.
Like, they're manipulating the fans. I mean, it just shows you, Man United, on our official website, we've got the rumour mill. Who else who consider themselves a huge club, a respectable club, and does that to their fans?
Right.
Because it's online traffic. For me, like I said, I'm not going to believe it until they're holding up the shirt, mate. Till you see them holding up the shirt, never believe it. Me not believe it, mate.
No, I call mine. I have a transfer show. I call mine the Transfer Bollocks Show. That's what mine's called. So
yeah. If I was ever going to do it, it would be exactly the same, mate. Absolutely exactly the same.
It is. I mean, we play FIFA football on it most of the time, mate. Doing things that you would probably do if you were playing FIFA. The reality, sort of sensible moves, which this football club don't usually do. But to be honest, the ones, Sancho, we knew that was coming. That was last year. So I think everyone now is.
Mate. 2 years.
Everyone's looking towards what's next, and that's really what counts this summer, because we're not counting Sancho. We know we should have had him a year ago at least. So for me, it's all about what happens now and where we go, what direction, and more importantly, who leaves. God, man, we need to sort so much out. The goalkeeping situation needs putting to bed. We need to get some players off the books. We've got all the loanees coming back who we need to sort out. And then the youth team needs splitting up into the loanees and loan clubs where best suits them. I think that's being done at the moment, like Mengi back to Derby. I think Garner's going back to Forest again, unless they pull up some trees in these 4 friendly matches we've got. Which I don't think will really count, but it gives them a chance because, like I said, we've got so many players at these Euros, mate. I don't think we're going to see many of them in these friendlies. So see what the kids have got. I'd be happy to watch the kids more, to be honest. I want to see what potential they've got and how well they've filled out over the summer and what they've learned from the loan spells away last season. That intrigues me more than transfers, to be honest.
Yeah, interesting actually. Who would you get rid of like that to me? Because everybody's talking about who to start, like who we buy, but I'm like, we can't have 35 players, and that's what it's going to look like.
I said this the other day, mate. Next season we're back to normal, so no big benches, and you look at that forward line now. So you go Martial, Greenwood, Rashford, Cavani, Sancho, Pogba, because he plays in that front 4 as well. So there's 6 players there. And then you're looking at the bench, you're going, what, you got James, you got Mata, you got Lingard, you got Diallo. For me, it's the old guard who should go, mate. They've had the time. I'm not for all this is good to have around the club crap. It's not my style,
Doing what?
mate. So
Doing what?
Exactly. They've not done much over the last 7 years, have they?
Babysitting. I'm sorry, no. I'm not here for babysitting.
You said it at the start, mate. Friends FC. So yeah, me, Lingard, Mato,
Matip. Sorry, even you, mate. Sorry, mate.
I said that before myself, mate. To be honest, though. So yeah, I'm admitting it's time to step down. But you know what? This club keeps giving me these big contracts, mate, and Mrs. is loving it.
There's a guy called. Listen, we're gonna do the watch along for the penalties. There we go. It's like telling one of the best players of this Euros for Italy. He steps up. He scored a fantastic goal, and he's been unlucky to be left on the bench for Verratti,
Verratti's been good though.
Player who's been injured for a long periods. This man Locatelli has deserved to play for me, but oh my word, saved. See, I give him the big billing, and look what happened. He went with his right foot, and he's actually got a good left foot as well. But Simeon saved it, mate. He saved it. He saved it.
Was he on the line?
Like, that's the thing we have to check. Actually, I've not seen any of the referees pulling up goalkeepers for jumping too early.
No.
Yeah. I've not seen that, so it's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. I've not seen anybody miss the first penalty, actually, in a penalty shootout we've had in this competition. I've not seen that happen.
Didn't Busquets hit the post, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, they missed. Yeah.
In Switzerland, yeah.
Busquets did, yeah. That's why they took him off today.
Man, Spain have scraped through extra time and penalties through every round, haven't they?
Yeah. He skied it. That ball is ended up in Twickenham.
That's in Club Wembley right now. That's Club Wembley. That ball.
Conversion, 3 points for Spain. 3 points for Spain. Everybody's
all the passes in the world, you can't hit the target from 12 yards.
I told you know what, I'm watching it with people and they've been really well actually keeping quiet while we're on here. But honestly, Adam, I told them that Donnarumma is gonna look like triple the size that he is when you have to face him at 12 yards. You know what I mean?
There we go.
He's a striker. Striker should be able to finish this. Really, he's a striker.
Bang, get in.
He's a striker. So yeah, strikers. I'll be shocked if strikers miss from there. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, anybody can miss, but striker.
Who'd you rather have in the final?
He went the right way again. He read it, but he hit it so hard and passed him before he could. You know what I mean? Could save it. There we go. This is the guy who scored the goal. The village that beat us. This is from the Yellow Submarine village.
Gerrard.
Population that buried us in the Europa League final. He's the kid who scored.
I'm sure he's just got that shirt on to wind us up as well.
Exactly. He's going to score. He's been terrific with penalties. What a penalty!
Close.
He's been fantastic with penalties. Actually, he's only missed one, I think, this season. He's got so many goals in the Liga this season. Yeah,
he has. He's been Spanish. He's been the Spanish leading goal scorer, hasn't he? Two Spanish players.
Oh my God! Why are they sending him? The Panucci. I'm going to tell a story about Panucci. Panucci's wife and his daughter was with him, or his son, and a thief pulled out a gun, tried to rob his Rolex watch. He grabbed the gun and chased the guy. That's Panucci for you. So
that's why he's taking a penalty.
Still, now he can't take a penalty. He can chase thieves with guns, but he can't take a penalty. Oh, yes, he can.
He can.
Yes,
mate, anyone who can stand up to a gunman can take a penalty. Simple.
Honestly, he's chased a gunman. True story. That's how hard this man is, mate. Guns don't terrify him. What an absolute experience. Thiago. Technique. Absolute technique, this guy. He's got it all. His father played in the World Cup '94. Brasilia, Jarzinho, I think was his name. Or was it Jarzinho? Was his name? His dad? Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Clever that, isn't it?
Brazilian Spanish, mate. He's not gonna miss that. His dad was part of that famous midfield players who won the '94 World Cup.
Yeah, I remember that team.
That Brazil team.
Roberto, Romario, Leonardo. My God.
Yeah, I remember Leonardo getting sent off for that terrible elbow. Horrific elbow.
God, mate. He'd have been locked up these days for that.
I know. He elbowed the guy so badly. The guy,
Donovan. Was it Donovan? Was it?
Something like that, yeah. He elbowed him, yeah. Brazil, yeah. He elbowed him. He absolutely did him.
Oh! Great penalty. Great penalty.
Come on, you sir. Who's got there? Benedetti.
Yeah. Squeaky bum time now, mate.
Is it Benedetti? It's Benedetti, yeah. It's Benedetti, yeah. Look at that there. Boom! Top corner, mate. Top bins.
Oh, Morata. Do you know what, mate? You're talking about that Spanish Twitter right now. It's like that. It's like that on the phone.
They're getting the Twitter. They're getting the bad tweets ready. If he was to miss Spanish Twitter, they're on the send. Oh, he's there! For me, you know what, Adam? I'm not gonna lie.
To be him.
I'm so unconfident and nervous. The biggest thing I'm going to do as a penalty taker, I'm gonna smash through it, head over ball, leg. Yeah. I'm gonna go down the middle. I'm not gonna try to place it. I'm not, because it's nerves. I'm not. I told you, Donnarumma looks huge in that goal. Huge. He doubles up.
Oh, God, that's painful. Oh, he's a good penalty taker, Jorginho, as well.
He usually is. He usually does the skip. But you know what?
This is to win it, isn't it? This is to win it. Yeah. This is to win it.
So win it! He might miss it. See, he does the skip hop and he goes, oh! He took the absolute biscuit.
Oh, mate, you got kahunas.
Absolutely took the biscuit.
You got kahunas there.
I finally got revenge, people. They've got revenge for that hammering in that final almost 8 years ago, almost a decade ago. They absolutely got revenge tonight. Sweet revenge. Revenge is sweet. Eddie, if you listen, if there was no corona, and tonight people will be getting free pizzas in Italian restaurants, mate. I used to know a top Italian man who owned a bad boy restaurant opposite Town Hall, and he was a big United fan. When we won the Champions League '99, my guy was giving the wine and the pizzas for free, mate. He was feeding the United fans. He was doing it. And there we go. There we go.
Get through, to be honest.
Italia! Get some of that pizza. Get some of that ice cream. Get some of that ravioli down here tonight and celebrate the Italia. It is Revenge. Donnarumma, look at him. Donnarumma, mate. I told people, but they didn't believe me. I said, Donnarumma looks huge in that goal. He looks huge.
He has been immense, though. This tournament has been absolutely different level.
Mm-hmm. So, Adam, let's talk about it. What we've come to talk about, mate. If, let's say if, and that's a big if. I know that a lot of England fans are really confident because they think it's only Denmark. And I like to remind people, it's not only Denmark because the last 2 games we've played against them, one in October, they beat England. Ericsson was penalty 1-0. They defended. They didn't concede goals in 2 games. In the last 2 games, England has played Denmark. And one of them was at Wembley. Everybody tells me, but it's at Wembley. It's still no. There we go. We can see the chefs. We can see the piece of chefs that are all dressed up, mate. Get some cookers out here, man. Get that dough out here. They'll make pizza for everybody at Wembley tonight. I'm telling you. They'll feed everybody, man. Get that dough out.
Mental, mate. That scenes
you know
at Wembley there.
Italy, actually, let's talk about Italy. Let's talk about it. Didn't qualify for the World Cup. Like, just give a bit of anecdote. Italy, Adam, played Sweden in a playoff match. We're losing. The manager that was in charge at that time tried to bring De Rossi on when Insigne was on the bench. The manager said to De Rossi, warm up, mate, you're getting on. He's like, why are you putting me on? We're losing. Why don't you put an attacker on? He points at Insigne. He's like, get the attackers on. Why are you putting me on? I'm a defensive midfield player. Anyway, they got knocked out. The guy got sacked within hours. He got sacked within hours. And Mancini's had free reign to rebuild the team. 2 years. It's took 2 years, right, to rebuild the team. And he's played a different style of football. I know tonight they gave Spain the ball, but usually they're the ones pressing. In my lifetime, I have never seen an Italian team play such a progressive attacking football. Never. True. I have never seen it. So we've got to give it up to them, to the Italian nation, big footballing nation. They're now await Denmark or England. I want you to make the case tonight, Adam, why I am wrong. Why tomorrow is not going to be squeezy bomb time. Why it's not going to penalties. Why England are not going to lose that game. Why England are going to go to the final.
Because we've learned how to win ugly, mate. We've learned how to accept what our strength is. And that is basically nullifying teams. Saying that you shall not pass. 5 clean sheets in a row, mate. No one's ever done that. England never do that. And that's why everyone's second guessing England, because all we have to do is that, and the quality on that bench and that forward line can tear anyone apart. The only reason I feel more confident this time is because of the fact that Harry Maguire has come into that team and just slotted straight into that team. We've got Harry Maguire with a decent centre-back partner next to him who's on a similar wavelength in John Stones. I never thought I'd say that, but you never know what partnerships are the ones that are going to work until you try them out. And them two work together. And you look at the fullbacks, if it's a 5, if it's a 4, it works even better because the pace of Walker, the world-class Luke Shaw at the moment, and then you've got Pickford playing the tournament of his life. All you have to do then, mate, is look into the midfield and the forward line, and you go, all right, it's not quite working there, but let's just go to the bench. Let's see who's on the bench to change a game. Mate, I'm looking at Sancho, pure filth the other night, mate. He's not going to start. He's not going to start. I can't believe it. You know what I mean? You've got Grealish and Foden sitting on their ass on the bench. It's embarrassing what players we've got. See, the thing you've got with England at the moment, mate, you can choose 3 or 4 different formations, 3 or 4 different styles of play, and you can attack the game in whichever way you want to do it. If you want to sit back, we're more than adequate. We've seen that. If you want to hold it, keep possession, you just make a couple of changes, bring on the likes of Foden, holding onto the ball retention. And if you want to go for it out-and-out pace, then you just have to unleash the Sancho or Rashford later on in the game. If it goes to extra time, Denmark, I think, will be beat anyway. So if Denmark try to hold out, I think that will be a mistake of theirs as well. Because I just don't see them getting past our defence on the break. And I know they've got wing-back play, which has been lethal in this game, but you're coming up against Luke Shaw now. You're coming up against Kyle Walker, who I don't really rate, but my God, the guy is lightning. And then covering behind that, you've got two centre-backs who are at the top of their game this season now. And we're forgetting about Phillips and Rice, who've had the tournament of their life. We're not even mentioning them defensively. So for me, I don't see how Denmark beat us. I can only see England collapsing and beating themselves, mate. I really don't see the threat. I don't think there's enough from Denmark to actually set out a game plan to attack us. I think they will. I think they're still riding a bit of a wave. But I've never known a team get to a semi-final having lost 2 games, mate, in a tournament. It's crazy. It is crazy. And I think England will finish them off tomorrow night, mate. I really do.
I think they're going to be super dangerous. Do you know why, Adam? Majority. I know you've played football, right? I've played football in in the levels that we played at. You probably played maybe semi-pro, but I played just Sunday and Saturday league. And the biggest thing about teams, any team that I've ever played for, or any team that I've ever known or heard about, the greatest teams, is about having a cause, getting the team around the cause, and to fight for something, to focus on something. We all know what happened to Ericsson. It was tragic. We all know what the cretins in UEFA did when they gave them 3 options. Either replay the game at 12 o'clock the next day, lose 3-0, or play now. After what happened, it was extraordinary. I mean, I didn't watch it. When they came back on, we were all in tears, weren't we? We were all so emotional to witness that. It was something that we've never... I've experienced it once. I was watching that game, I think it was Cameroon against Colombia, I think it was, when Matfibi and Faway, when he collapsed and they took him off the pitch and he died. And then we all know about Lumumba, you know what I mean? Patrice Lumumba, we all know about what happened to him. The doctor came down and saved him. But that was tragic. So to me, using that energy, the whole country, and they became instantly, to me, their captain became the player of the tournament because he flicked his tongue out of Ericsson. He flicked his, try to save him, you know what I mean? He acted like a captain. He got the other players around. So they became the team of the tournament, right? So instantly, everybody's second favourites in the whole of Euro, world football, have been emotionally, everybody's with them. And because of what happened to Ericsson, I think tomorrow it's not going to be easy. I think if England score first, I think it's going to be very tough for them. So it is, to me, it all depends on England score first. Now, I predicted that. I said, the viewers on my channel, United Real Therapy, the therapy army nicknamed him Ole Gunnar Southgate. Because that's what the nickname they've given him. And I've actually stood up for him and said, listen, he's looked at this very pragmatically. He's looked at this and said, Portugal won the Euros. They didn't win in their group games. They didn't win 1 game. They drew all, right? They only beat Spain, you know what I mean, before they beat somebody else in there. So they beat Wales, I think, didn't they, to get to the final? That's they won 2 games, like two games. The other one was on penalties, and the rest of the 3 in the group they drew, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, people.
No.
And then you see that France won the World Cup because they played very pragmatic football. They weren't the last team to be smashing everybody, to be beating everybody and swapping everybody away. Was the Spanish team that won the Euros almost a decade ago that smashed Italy in that final. They were the last team. And the team before that was the World Cup team, Germany, who went everybody before them. They beat everybody easy, you know, other than Argentina in the final when it was 1-0. So we're here to talk about, to me, I think the game tomorrow will be interesting. But I said about Germany, I knew I was very confident that England would beat Germany. I said, if you nullify their wing backs, Germany, the 2 most effective guys were their wing backs. You nullify them. And I said, if England are not naive, and one thing he's shown me, he's going for the pragmatic. He's not being naive. He's going tactically to shape up against every team, like you said. Come with answers to every team that we play against, England play against. But tomorrow, does he go? Because the 2 most effective guys have been their wing backs.
Yeah.
Just the 2 best players. So tomorrow, does he go with the wing back, the five at the back? Does he go with that? Welcome, Saeed. Welcome to the stream. Mamma mia, Italiano. Get the ravioli out now, my friend. Yes.
I have the ravioli.
No, he can't. He's on Swedish meatballs today, Saeed. That's what he's on.
Yeah, man. Some Swedish meatballs from IKEA. They're lovely. Lovely jubbly,
Lovely jubbly. Are they lovely jubbly?
Are they lovely jubbly? They're all right.
A lovely
But
job.
what a game.
What
What have
a
I
game,
seen
man.
tonight?
What a game.
What have I
What a
watched?
drama.
I don't know if we can actually play this level of football. We'll have to just part the bus maybe, because the Italian spirit, mate. Chiellini is fighting and punching people before they even took penalties. I mean,
Mate,
honestly, man, it's absolutely crazy.
I said to the missus, the missus has taken to the tournament. She's actually watched football for the first time.
Big up
Periods.
Big up.
Yeah, so she's saying, I said, one thing you've got to admire about Italy, I said, look at them celebrating defending. That's my kind of team. That's what I love. Look at that defending. They celebrate defensive tackles like they scored a goal. And it's like they said, then it said Spain were chasing a goal and needed a goal. Italy have conceded 2 goals in 2 years. That's what you call
madness.
dedicated to a style of football. Do you know what I mean? And Mancini, to his credit, has adapted that into one of the most lethal counter-attacking setups I've ever seen. The energy side, you said it then, the energy, and oh my God. They must be knackered right now. The only good thing for England or Denmark is that Italy looked dead on the feet at the end. And this is one more game in this tournament this year, guys. Let's not forget, it's one too many, because it's never been around the 16 in the Euros before. It's always been quarterfinals. So I think England's squad, if we get through,
we've not maximised our squad, have we? Though we've not maximised it, have we?
Mate, there's got to be a time when we have to be calling on a Jack Grealish or Phil Foden or Rashford at some point. We've just not used it because we've not had to. We've cruised through games. And to answer your question, Nuruddin, mate, he goes pragmatic tomorrow. I think he'll match them up. I think he'll match them up and stop the win backs. He'll stop Larson and stop I think it's Mihaela. I think he called it. Mihaela, he'll stop them. And then literally every other one of them then, I think, through the middle, I think we're just stronger. And I don't think they're the quickest at the back. I really don't. I mean, you got Christensen and Vestergaard. We know all about them from the Premier League, don't we? Not the quickest, great in the air. I don't think Crosses is going to win the day for us. So it's going to be interesting who he plays. It could be clever footballers tomorrow. You may see Phil Foden come in tomorrow. It's going to be interesting because I think we'll win this by playing football. But don't expect a bonanza of a start, I don't think. I think it'll be solid. And you may be waiting for goals in the second half, I think.
Saeed, how do we beat Denmark tomorrow? Do we match them?
I think I've gone for 1-0 because I just think, for me, the Ukraine game was a freak. I think Ukraine tried to play football, and I think they did the worst thing possible. I think they tried to play football. Well, in reality, you don't do that against England. You try to stay compact. You try to do what Czech Republic did. You try to do what certain other teams have done. Scotland, sit off them and then try hit them on the break. I mean, I think for me, Denmark are a very, very complete team. They've got balance in there. They've got a good midfield. Can we win that midfield battle? Højbjerg and Delaney, they're very good, man. And then you've got Fingy and Damsgaard in around there. Energy. It's difficult to. You know what is when
the Barcelona man's been one of their most impressive forwards. He doesn't score, but he runs. I know people away.
I know energy. And I think, what it is, I just feel like for me, the crowd, I know it's cheesy to say, but the crowd tonight for both teams were unbelievable. The extra push. Can England get that? Or can they get sunk in the game where the euphoria can get to the pressure? Yeah. Because a lot of people don't realise, Denmark will just play their game, and they've been playing their game all tournament. There's no pressure for Denmark, but there's a lot of pressure for England now. I know that you guys have watched the Euro 96. Obviously, I wasn't here, but Gascoigne, that flick at the end, could he have got there? It's one of them things, isn't it? So
I've still not forgotten Darren Anderton hitting that post when he come on. I'm still like, how did the ball not go in there?
They're the moments you look back on. I mean, talking about the crowd there, I mean, London is the 5th biggest Danish city in Europe for population. There's 30,000 of the guys here. There's about 8,000 coming tomorrow night. So atmosphere, I think, is going to be massive. I think it's probably going to be. I think it's going to be an emotional game tomorrow night. I really do. I think there's a lot on it, as well as just getting to a final. We've got, because there's massive respect. There's a massive English contingent in that Danish squad as well. Kasper, Højbjerg, like I said, the two defenders, Christiansen, and we're all close to Eriksson. Coming back to London again, Denmark, the massive population there is there. It's all built to be an absolutely epic game in so many different ways. In the end, I just feel like this one, with both teams being as pragmatic as they are, that little bit of quality is what's going to pay, I think, tomorrow night. And that's where England edge it for me. We've just got too much in the team and too much to come on.
The bench. Yeah. I mean, you've got a quote from here, obviously. Schmeichel looks like Kasper Schmeichel is absolutely trolling England, the whole nation. I think he's been asked, from this answer, he's been asked, is he coming home? He's been asked, he's basically said, has it ever been a home? Question mark. I mean, you've never won it.
No, but the thing is, though, don't you not think like the English media just getting a bit cocky? Let it. Why would you tell Denmark? Say to the English players, is it coming home? You don't need to tell the Danish players. I just feel like the Danish, he had every right to be able to say, well, has it ever come home? You know what I mean? But again, if he smacks him in the face and they end up going out, mate, that'll be getting reloaded every week, mate. You know what I mean? Literally. Even let's not
thinking it's coming home to a minute. Every away game next season, every going to be
coming home.
Schmeichel is coming home. Anyway, we've got loads of Italians here. Ciao bello. What a game. Forza Italia. Italy are rubbish. Okay, he's Spanish. He's definitely not a lot of Spanish. Jorginho for Ballon d'Or. I'm like, what? What?
You know what? It's a possibility.
Stay away from the track, Jorginho for Ballon d'Or. You're having a laugh. He's not played that well all season to be a Ballon d'Or, man. There we go. 2-1 Denmark. Woo! Some people are coming out saying 2-1 Denmark. Adam, can we explain to people about the England following and Man United, the difference between Man United, how Man United as a kid you're brought up to follow Man United, and how also other clubs use the national team against us. Like, for example, anytime we used to have Argentinian players, we always sing Argentina, Argentina. We always sing for Ronaldo when Ronaldo and Rooney winked at each other. So there's always been friction between, let's say, the fans, England rural fans, I call them, from a smaller clubs, innit? Because that's their big thing, innit? A lot of the fans from England are teams that are from in the 3rd division, 2nd division, 4th division. Of course, there are a lot of fans who support.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But can you just give a bit of that perspective to that? Why do you think not as many United fans really are diehard England fans?
It's been there for a while, hasn't it? But you've got to look at it as well. It's like there's been always a bit of a rift and a divide within the players as well, in terms of how they've taken to it. We had the cliques, and football just went away from England. And the fans of England and the big clubs, because the big clubs were always competing and we always had something to actually look towards in terms of fighting on the highest table, whereas England it was never there. We were never competing at the right level. I mean, I can remember Italia 90. That was the biggest buzz I ever had watching England. Absolutely brilliant. But after that, it sort of went to the Premier League. And when the Premier League kicked in, that pretty much was the time when England and United fans sort of, the divide started to build. It started after Italia 90. No coincidence when the Premier League came and it all came in, right, the best players in the world are now coming to England and are playing at the top clubs in England. So it sort of took a little bit of a shine off when a big tournament came around, because you already knew what was coming. And now you've got everything. Like, you can watch any league in the world now all over. But back then, you didn't. And you wanted to see the best of English that you watched week in, week out go up against the best who you didn't know. We had to tell you, what was it on Saturday, the Italian programme, Nuruddin, what was it called now?
Galazio!
That's Channel 4. That's all we had.
Yeah, I remember Galazio. I remember that.
It's all we had, wasn't it? It's all we had. So we didn't know. We didn't know, and we wanted to see it. But then when the Premier League came in and all the players started coming, we're like, oh, we've already got it in. And you know what? You kind of forgot about international football. Whereas the smaller teams, like you said, it was their holy grail because they never had the big stadiums. They never had the big days out, jumping around, having thousands around them. They came together as a community, and then they built that divide from the lower clubs. And that's when United started getting called, we're like snobbish, weren't we?
Yeah.
Football snobs. We don't care about England anymore. And then we sort of fought against that. And then it took a while to come back.
Yeah. But is there another factor as well? That a lot of Irish, obviously, there's a huge Irish consistent link. A lot of Irish in Manchester, third generation, second generation, fourth generation, Irish. A lot of
Liverpool as well.
We know, mate. We've got massive Irish following on our channels. Yeah. I've got so many people who follow me who just want to talk about United.
Exactly.
That's it, United. I have people come up to me at the ground and say, "Oh, I love it. I was thinking this. What do you think of it? What do you think of that?" It's like they live for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely live for United, and nothing else matters because their national team isn't doing fantastic. Yeah. They're not really bothered. They're like a lower division team, but the hatred for England amongst the whole nations is there to see. It's in every single sport.
Yeah.
Rugby, football, cricket, it's there, mate. Every single sport that we've got, we're hated, the English fans. And for me, the divide in club and country all stem from the Premier League, mate.
Yeah.
Because the Premier League basically set the lower divisions apart, and they said they filtered money down. The Premier League have missed payments to the EFL for leading years now. They owe millions. They've not been paying what they should be. And that, for me, literally split fan bases because the Premier League took the big clubs away to this, put them on this pedestal that the smaller clubs were just looking up at going, you know what, they don't care about anyone but themselves anymore. Obviously, we follow our country, but then they got more and more games, pre-seasons were going on longer and longer, and we just got club football thrown down our throats. And now when it jumps into the season and gets in the way of our club players going away, we hate it.
Of course.
And that's why we can't take to it. Because these lower league teams, they carry on playing, whereas we've got friendlies in the middle of a season, and we're like, oh God, he's going away, he's going to come back injured, you know the score, and it starts getting in the way, doesn't it? Because we just want our club to do well, but the players are just being given game after game after game, and it carries on in international. And I think that's where, until these tournaments come around, you won't get a full combined united fan base in international football. Because that's when everyone knows they can put their heart and soul into it, and they're not worried about their club players. Because the World Cup coming up next year, I'm dreading it. I'm like, how can I take to that in the middle of a season? I will, but building up to it, I'm going to be like, oh God, this is getting right in the way. You know what I mean?
It's going to feel like you know what? It's going to feel like club. You know that club world championship where
exactly.
I know. Dashing home from work in the M6 in traffic on a Thursday night, and it's like, it's 4 o'clock, but it feels like it's 8 o'clock. And you got to get home for chilling versus Uruguay.
What are the kickoff times going to be at this Qatar World Cup? Do we know?
I don't know, actually.
I don't even know what the time difference is, but I'm probably going to miss half of them if they're real life.
Let's see.
It's 2-hour difference.
Wow.
Yeah, 2-hour difference right now. You know what I mean? So you're looking at games, but it depends when they put the games, when it suits them, innit? It has to be in the evening time because it's hot, isn't it? But it just depends on how hot it is in the winter for them,
Looks like you're gonna, Looks like you're gonna be missing some games. Some of the games are gonna be at 3 o'clock. There's 7 o'clock games. A lot of them are 7 o'clock games.
The school runs,
but some of them are gonna be like 3 o'clock games.
Man, it's going to cause carnage to the economy.
Yeah. 3 o'clock. Some of them are going to be like 3 o'clock kickoffs. 5, 7, and I think 3 and 3 and that's all I can see now. That's all I can see right now. But
man,
Saeed, we're going to go to you on this one. So obviously you're a younger generation. You're not me and Matic, Adam are the similar generation, but you're not the same generation. How was your allegiance with England, supporting England, growing up in Manchester, being a United fan?
Yeah. To be fair, I've been fairly passionate with England. You know what I mean? I've supported them when I can. But, especially at tournaments, tournaments have been a kind of a football fanatic, but I'd probably say with Adam, I'm like, oh man, it's September already, and we're having England games. You know what I mean? The season's already started, and the first week of September, you have an England game for 2 games. Honestly, it just drives me mad. So I'd rather have club games, and then when you have another one in peak November and October, and then you're like, you know what I mean? It's just like, so boring, man. But obviously, when you come to club level, it's different, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, international level in terms of international football, and you go to cup competition, it's different because the feeling, isn't it? You know what I mean? Of everyone together. You know what I mean? Everyone united, fans singing in the thingy. I remember 2018, there's people on buses. You know, it was just carnage, wasn't it? You know what I mean? And I feel like that kind of uniteness and the unite feeling of everyone, it's a good feeling. But I'm passionate with England, you know what I mean? Like I said to you, but they always let us down, man, every time. But this year just feels different, Nuruddin. It feels different. Woo! I feel like it's coming home, man. I feel like it's coming home.
You keep saying it, and tomorrow, to me, psychologically...
Sorry, Nuruddin. I feel like tomorrow is a bigger game than I thought. When I looked at this game tonight and the way they battled, I think Denmark will battle like that, you know. Exactly. I really do.
That's what I'm saying to you. Because England have got to break that semi-final hoodoo. They got to break that. They got to get rid of that juju, semi-final juju, man. Because England have always come short in the semi-finals. And the one thing I do not want it to happen tomorrow is go to penalties. And I think in the final, it's just a hit. It's 90 minutes, home game against Italy. If England go through, it's just a hit. You just go for it. You go for it. See if you can win it. But to me, tomorrow it is a big battle because I've said it again and again. And people are not. Adam, we got an answer here. There are some games at 10 a.m. in the morning, apparently.
Bloody hell, man.
That's you on the radio, mate, while you're working away. Radio.
Yeah. Radio.
I mean? I can't imagine England kicking off. I can't imagine England kicking off at that time. I can't imagine it. But anyway, it's going to be very interesting tomorrow. It's going to be, there's so many subplots to it. It's going to be really fascinating type of game on what's going to happen in terms of it. But I just don't want it to go to penalties. I don't think the nation can take another penalty shootout, honestly. I don't think, because and whatever player misses, could you imagine when Waddle and Pierce missed in 1990 if Twitter was around? Their careers would have been ruined.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Southgate even more in '96, mate.
Yeah, I remember, right?
How was it like for Southgate when he took it? When did his form dip for Aston Villa?
Yeah, listen, he did up there for Pizza Hut where he put a brown envelope over his head.
Wow,
mate! The best thing I heard was Paul Gascoigne doing an interview with Ali McCoist, and he was talking about that moment. He says, Gascoigne said, "Brilliant, Gascoigne." He goes, "I had the tournament of my life, and then this guy goes and misses a penalty and gets all these deals with Pizza Hut, and I walk out of there with nothing." Absolutely,
that's hilarious.
I can remember the adverts. Honestly, went on for about a year.
You know what? I thought I dreamt that, honestly, when I was trying to remember it, I was like, did Southgate have a Pizza Hut? Well, did he have a brown envelope on him sitting down in a Pizza Hut restaurant? And he had it. But to me, if he was to win it, and if he went to penalties and England were to win it, it'd be just redemption for him. Wembley, you know what I mean? To me, I think he's been a very progressive in terms of his attitude to the world and whatever's going on. He's been a very progressive manager. But in terms of the way he wants England to do it, and Adam said it, you said it from the beginning of the show, England are looking at their strength and then going to nullify teams. So let's see if they can nullify. Let's see if they can nullify Denmark tomorrow. Like I said, it's not going to be easy. Everybody's thinking, I think if England get the first goal, England can counter-attack Denmark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they get the first goal, if
England get the first goal, I think England can win. But anyway, I'm going to go to your lineups tomorrow. Adam, I'm going to you first. Who starts? Who's your 11?
Right. You cannot. I'm a big advocate of never changing a winning team, but obviously, I think Sancho came in for a particular reason, because, like we said before, Southgate was looking at how the opposition work, and he'd already figured out that Sancho was a better fit, and he was proved right from the first minute. Sancho just destroyed them. He had that something that we needed on the break. The back line, I'm pretty certain he's going to go to a back four again. I do think he's going back four. I honestly don't know.
I think that would be.
I don't know if he should match up Denmark, because if he matches Denmark up, then we'll win. Because I think we've got better players, and their wing backs are their biggest threat. But we've got Luke Shaw, who's in the form of his life. We've got Kyle Walker, who's just, I don't rate him, but I've never seen a guy so quick. His recovery times are ridiculous. It gets him out of jail so many times, and you can't beat that. You just cannot beat that pace. On the counter, I think we've got all the weapons to counteract it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what if he does match up? If he does match up, then that as your answer. He'll beat Maguire, Walker as the third centre half, and it could be James or Trippier on that side, and Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's undroppable for me.
Oh, of course he is. No, you're not dropping Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's just best left back in the world at the moment, and he's got more assists. I think he's the top assist in the tournament now as well, which I don't think anyone picked up on. For me, he has to be in. Obviously, then you've got the conundrum. I think Rice and Phillips will start the game. I think that's a given. Played all tournament. They seem to have hit it off. The cohesion is there. And you know what? I think Phillips is a threat going forward as well. And to be honest, defensively, with no one on a yellow card right now, I think them two are against this Danish team. I don't see him breaking through them. I really don't. I don't see how they do it, because they back each other up. Mm-hmm. And then you've just got to decide on that front three with who plays with Kane. That's the biggest one. I think Sterling will definitely play.
Kane.
Do you keep Sancho? Do you bring Foden back? Which way do you want to do it? Because they can interchange.
Yeah. Or do you go for Saka? I mean, the options are there, innit? Do you go for Foden? Do you go for Saka? Do you stick with, Sancho? It's a massive choice. I think tomorrow the substitutes will have a lot to say as well. Saeed, so you think you were like him, Adam? You were like Ole Gunnar Southgate to match them, but you think he's going to play 4-3-3 tomorrow, yeah? Because he thinks we're better than Denmark, yeah?
You know what? Southgate he's not an arrogant man. He has respect for every opponent that he plays. So thinking like that, I do think he will be pragmatic. I do think he will match it up. But I think the formation will be very adaptable for him tomorrow. I think the players will be drilled to within an inch of their life. They will be drilled out of possession formation, in possession formation. And I just see, out of all, I think England have got more class, they've got more dangerous players, and that's what will win us the game. Because you can set up to defend against someone like England, but you can't defend every single one of them. And if you bring in players on like Foden and Grealish, it's a different. You cannot set a team up without knowing who he's going to play. And because Denmark don't know if it's going to be a Sancho or a Rashford with pace or a Xhaka with pace, it could be a flare of a Grealish or a Foden. You cannot set up against that. You can't be ready for what's coming. And that's where England have the advantage, because they have options. If it was a team that we all knew was going to play, Denmark would probably have a better chance. But that element of them not being able to be able to prepare for a certain style of play is what gives England the edge for me, because you could bring any one of them in and it would work for England. I just don't know if Denmark have got enough in that defence. And as good as it's been, I still think there's flaws there in that Danish defence.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they look absolutely shattered in that game in Baku. Saeed, you're 11. Come on now, no time sitting on the bench now.
I'm gonna go with Adam in the back five again. I'm gonna go with Pickford. I think Pickford needs a lot of respect. I think for me in England, I don't know what he is, man. I don't know if you guys remember any players that perform for England more than they did for clubs, but he's definitely one of them. Oh, yeah. He's definitely international man. I'm gonna go for right back. I'm gonna go for Kieran Trippier, and I say that because of the experience. I think Reece James, don't get me wrong, he's a quality player, but just the experience, Kieran Trippier, Kyle Walker, I'm tempted not to play him, but I just think again the pace, like Adam said, gets him out of trouble. And I'm going to go for Maguire, Stones, and then Shaw left wing back. Then I'm going to go for the two in midfield, Declan Rice and Phillips. And then I'm going to go for. I'm thinking here. Do I go for Mount in the middle?
Kane and Sterling are going to play. Who's your third one?
Kane, Sterling. Who do I go for? Kane or Sterling?
He's not dropping them.
It's got to be Grealish then.
But Grealish on the right?
No, I would put Sterling on the right, Grealish on the left.
But Sterling's been danger man for England. He's been England's best player on the left. And he's got that brilliant link up with Luke Shaw on the left.
Yeah. No, I just think for me, this is knockout now. You know, I just think for me, this is when it moments matters. And it's got to surely play. But then again, do you drop other players? I'm not sure. Again, Southgate, does he go for Sancho? In this kind of game, they're going to sit back. I think Grealish can make something out of nothing.
I don't think so, bro. I think the first 20 minutes with the England crowd and that, they might do. But they're not set up to defend, They're not very defensive. They're not very defensive.
They go for it, I know.
They're fantastic on the counter, don't get me wrong, with the wing-backs. Yeah. They're amazing on the counter. But I'd be very shocked if they try to sit back tomorrow because England nick one goal, England score, and they have to come out, and England will counter them all day. But for me, it's about the benches tomorrow. The bench will have a lot to say in the teams. Anyway, as it's in that moment of the night, we have to go into, just this is a brilliant little quote, Shaw Carlos. So basically, Roberto Carlos has, obviously, this is about after Roberto Carlos followed Shaw, after everybody, the internet has been trending, Shaw Carlos has been trending.
Roberto, yeah.
Greatest left back in the history of world football, the greatest. The man, I tell people, Saeed wasn't around, but the man, guess what, Saeed? He used to have special jeans made for him. Do you understand? If you ever see his thighs, they're like the size of my head, your head, all three of our heads, because his thighs used to look like a pregnant woman. You know, like when you look at pregnant women, that's how big his thighs used to be, right? He used to have special jeans made for him because that's how big his thighs were. I mean, that guy was a revelation.
He used to wear baggy in the day. Imagine, even though he used to still wear baggy in the day.
He used to have, he still used to have jeans made for him. So Shaw obviously caught onto it and he's followed Shaw on Twitter. And Shaw's like, obviously, it's nice to hear from one of the best ever left backs after the game when I had seen that he had followed me, commented on my photo. I couldn't believe it, to be honest. So that's a beautiful moment, eh? Left back association. But I still think Dennis Irwin was the greatest left back for Man United. Luke Shaw, you've got a long way to go, mate. Long way to go. The greatest left back in the Premier League for me has to be one Dennis Irwin. And I'm so sorry for you United fans, you're too young. But get on YouTube, you'll see it. Anyway, we get to that time of the show where we have to talk about jobs for the boys, business, FC. Here we go. Man like internet against the world. The Athletic understands Richard Arnold is in pole position to land the CEO position, right, at Man United. Matt Judge is also expected still to be the head of negotiation, and he'll be working closely with I said it. I coined the phrase, jobs for the boys, business FC, mate. Jobs for the boys, promote from within, mate. If anybody knows somebody who works at Man United, you can like Adam said, you can get a job at any department, mate. Any department. Talk to me, Saeed. Obviously, we talked about it on the Straight Jacket podcast yesterday. Guys, head to Saeed TV. Check that out. We spoke about it on United Real Therapy when we talked about Man United. But talk to me, Saeed. I asked Adam before, but Varane, Camavinga, all I'm saying is that don't be surprised if we end up with ings, mings, wings, mate.
Honestly, man, you know what? We've been talking about all summer. We probably will be. I think the Varane deal's turning a bit like it might be a contract renewal. You know, I think that's looking like that. You know what I mean? I heard reports that it's too many conflicting reports, and it doesn't feel like the Sancho deal. The Sancho deal, we wanted it for 2 years. This one just feels like the Ramos deal, the Snyder deal.
They're jumping on that wage cap from La Liga because Real Madrid are not going to be far behind what Barcelona are having to do, and they cannot afford to renew Varane. They won't be able to bring anyone in. So this is real. I think United are just buying the time with it. They really are. If Varane signs a new contract, so be it. I don't think they're stressing about it. I just don't want to see that Pau Torres come in. I don't think he's strong enough for United. I honestly think if United were to throw players in, i.e. Van der Beek or Dallo, I think this deal would move because I think Real Madrid need players, but they ain't going to be able to renew Varane's contract, I don't think. Very similar to where Barcelona are right now. They've got too many players on stupid money. So I just think, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised either way, but I do feel like it's probably going to drag on a bit longer, the Varane one. I still feel like we can get him, though. I do feel like we can get him.
I'm the biggest transfer skeptic ever. I don't believe it. I don't think these guys are competent enough to sign. Like I said, I'll come on here, United Real Therapy. Therapy, I mean, you know it already. I'm happy to print those words out and I'll eat them on screen. I'm happy to come on here and do a stream, me eating my own words on live, because I will happily be happy. I'll be ecstatic if Man United and the bankers from Bristol University bankers prove me wrong, mate. I'll be ecstatic. I'll be over the moon. Here we go. Hamsan Mohammed says, I miss Saeed lamenting about Ollie. I can't wait for next season, though.
Let's wait until next season, man. I don't want to talk about club football in terms of Man United. We're going to talk about transfers. Transfers is different to actually seeing the football.
Big up Julie. You know what, Julie? My Julie, she's saying that best left back was best right back was Paul Parker. She's saying she's probably of our generation. Here we go. Real Madrid and Barcelona generally broke. They need to sell, but they have to sell to.
That's true.
Maybe they sell
Barcelona,
Odegaard, Isco, and co to generate income. I mean, we'll see. At the end of the day, for me, it's like Varane. He's won everything there's to win at Real Madrid. Does he need a new challenge? The thing about Camavinga, what I heard about Camavinga is that his agent now is the same agent as Gareth Bale. His agent is the same agent as Gareth Bale. So he's got a British agent. But at the end of the day, it won't surprise me. I tell people, and I said it at the beginning of the show, and I'm going to keep saying it like a broken record, so that PlayStation generation United fans who are absolutely getting giddy when we get linked with one player, because that's all these once want. To me, not a penny more. I'm a supporter of not a penny more. United. I've told everybody. Christmas, I said, don't buy me any United shirt. Birthdays, don't buy me any Man United. I've told everybody.
You'll be outside Megastar Norden.
I'm going to be outside. I'll be thinking not a penny more, mate. I'll be there with my placard. Not a penny more. Honestly. But it's looking like, for me, it's going to be drama, Adam. It's going to be a drama because now it's about the players to let go as well. I mean, I just want the Paul Pogba before one ball is kicked. I want the Paul Pogba sorted out either way. I don't want it to drag on all summer, mate. I don't want it dragging all summer.
We talked about Pogba the other day on my podcast, me saying and Owen, and it could be massive in terms of what happens this summer as well, because Pogba stays. Look at Camavinga, young French lad. Look at Varane. There's a reason to come to United. We're moving somewhere. We're keeping players. We're looking to push to the next level. Varane and Pogba being in a team could easily sway the Camavinga move. Simple. Yeah. That, for a young kid, would be a dream. I could go to Manchester United and be in the same team as two of my World Cup winning idol heroes. It's massive. Paul Pogba is pivotal. There's that, I think, and more importantly, the goalkeeper situation, which needs sorting ASAP at this football club. And then we could probably look like we're getting some form of structure. Dare I say it, structure back in, but it goes to the ladder. So I go priority has to be deal with Pogba, sort the goalkeeper situation out. Then it moved down to Lingard, Dallo, these players. Then obviously the young kids, getting them sent out on loans, like I said before. Because I'm looking at it right now and going, yeah, we look like we should be ready for the start of the season. But whoever starts the season for us is probably not going to be playing 3 or 4 weeks into it, because then the Euro players are going to start coming back. So these players who start the season for us have to hit the ground running. Otherwise, you know what? That transfer window running 3 weeks into the season again comes right into focus, because you could also be putting themselves right into the market. Me and Saeed were talking the other day. There's actually a shout for Jesse Lingard starting the season.
Yeah.
All our forwards are on Euro duty.
Yeah,
exactly.
All we've got
and Rashford needs that operation.
Exactly.
Rashford definitely needs that
We could be starting the season easily with a Lingard, Greenwood, and
Ings
Martial.
Cavani, Uruguay got knocked out the other night, so Cavani's coming home. He's coming home. He's coming.
It's coming
home.
It's coming home.
Cavani's coming home. We got knocked out the other night on penalties by Colombia. Colombia, Argentina tonight, isn't it? The other semi-final. Brazil already in the final in the Copa America. People are asking me in the comments, will I ever do a watch-along for that? But it's that game kicks off at 2 o'clock. I'm too tired. But anyway, here we go. Sky Sports. Lloyd Taylor says, Sky Sports is saying Madrid have given permission United to talk to Varane. Mate, I don't believe anything Sky Sports said, mate. I never believe anything Sky Sports said. I'm sorry. But here we go. One more thing. Athletic is led to believe that Richard Arnold has seen the most perfect replacement for Ed Woodward. Matt Judge and Murta are believed to be influenced by Richard Arnold. Guys.
Can we talk about the women's team? Have you heard about the women's team? What happened? I don't know if it's on there, but they're not happy about the way the team's been run. Their communication is broken down. You know, I feel so. You know, there it is. There, they're approaching the PFA. Wow.
Yeah, of course they haven't. I've told Saeed. Listen. Coney, that's her name, innit? Coney, that was her name, the manager. She's one of the most talented coaches. She was a brilliant player for England, right? She was one of the most talented. They messed her around so much. She finished the season and she went, a club like Man United, this big, is run like this. She was like, no, thank you. I can't face my own players. And as the manager, I'm supposed to protect them. How can I protect them? And how can I say, I'm going to sort everything out in the back room and I'm going to work hard with the club to sort you all out? And then this happened. So I'm not surprised. As a result,
it's not a good look, man. It's not a good look.
Approach to behavior, which has unanimous support from the club's female players. Well, listen, here we go. United players feel the club is the best place to make progress, which gets underway on September the 3rd.
It's not best place,
Not best place. Of course it's not.
It's not good that though. Whilst they're spending millions on the men's team. Yeah, it's not good look, man.
They never wanted a football club. I remember I lived in a hostel when I was 16, yeah. One of my key workers who worked in the hostel, she was a Man United vice captain, sorry. And that's United have had an amateur team throughout the years in the 90s. So they never wanted them. They just jumped on the bandwagon because City had one, Chelsea had one, Liverpool were.
Yeah.
That's what they were forced into it, yeah. They were forced into it.
How can we make more money selling shirts? That's what they thought. So, to me, Coney did the best thing. And to me, deep down in my heart, if this transfer is messed up again and they've not backed Ollie and not got him the players that he wants, I think Ollie should do the decent thing for me and expose them for what they are. Expose the bankers for what they are. Because she's one of the best coaches. She'll probably get a fantastic job in women's football. She will. But guys, anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. We can talk about that. Casey Stoney, that's it. Casey Stoney. She's one of the most highly rated.
Yeah, she is. Very good.
Women's football coaches in the world. She was going to go and play in go and manage a team in the top flight in Europe. Forget even about this country. She's that highly rated. Casey Stoney was highly rated. Every women's football analyst thought she was brilliant and tactically, and because what was building, exactly. But she's got principles, she's got morals. They were sharing changing rooms, and they had to walk so far. Women like the toilets, they had to walk so far from the toilets to where the playing pitch, the training pitch was. It shows you we are absolutely fraud of a club, overseen by vampires, by cretins. That's what we're overseen and run by Bristol University bankers. But Adam, let them know where people can find you, bro.
As always, Adam Matic TV. Yeah, there you go. Right there. Adam Matic TV, YouTube, Adam Matic on Twitter, and Adam Matic 32 on Instagram.
Saeed, let them know where they can find you, bro. Saeed TV. Everywhere, Saeed.
Yeah, Saeed TV. I did a vlog as well. Make sure you go check the vlog out. I was in IKEA. I had no clue what I was doing, but yeah, check that, people.
Mate, Saeed, you haven't done IKEA yet, mate, because you haven't done IKEA with a woman.
Yeah.
Not had the experience.
Well, there it is. And I plan not to, Adam. I plan not to.
Don't.
I'll be like, you can go by yourself there. I'll just stay at home now, look after the kids. You go.
You know, soon as Saeed sits down on those comfy beds or comfy chairs.
That's what I did.
Right? When you need what, listen, when you done, give us a bell. I'll meet you at a till.
I'll be in the
That's what I used to do at PHS.
I'll be with my Swedish meatballs. That protein down there. What?
Oh my God!
I'm hanging out with those Swedish meatballs. That's what I'll be doing.
Man, yeah. I was like, right, I'm done now. No, we've got one more floor to go to. I said, oh my God, just get me out of here, please. You know what I mean?
To me, you know what? It's the lights. It's the brightness, man. I come out of there, I'm busy. It's that lights. It's the lights in there, man. That does my head in. But anyway, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. We've previewed the England-Denmark game. Tomorrow, can Ole Gunnar Southgate do the job again? Does he go and nullify the teams? That's what he's been doing. When everybody was moaning in the group stages, I told you all, he's going for the pragmatic approach because that's what he's seen. The last two teams that won the two big trophies in the world, the Euros and the World Cup, were both pragmatic teams that were hard to beat. Tomorrow, Denmark will be a test. Let's see how we go. I'm not saying it's coming home.
It's coming.
I'm not saying it. I'm not putting a kiss of death on it. I just think good game tomorrow. Please, whatever happens, no penalties. But see you tomorrow night, people, on this channel. We will be doing match reaction on here. Adam, Saeed, top notch. Hope to see you outside Old Trafford.
Yeah, in the canal.
I'm trying to get a ticket sorted out, man. But anyway, Boris said we're free now. Anyway, freedom!
Until next week.
Listen, I was like, what in the Matt Hancock thing is going on here? What in the Matt Hancock? Boris is like, no mask as well. Everywhere. Freedom. Let's go. So, yeah,
I'll tell you what, mate. Where's your mask? In the shop. No, we don't need to wear masks, love.
Talk to Boris, mate. Talk to Boris, mate. Let me ring Boris. Boris? Man, Hancock with me. Let him talk. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. Thank you to every one of you. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Therapy Army, this is what we are, people. Big up to every one of you. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Saeed. Adam, hopefully we'll see you again on the channel, bro. I'll be coming returning. And hopefully we'll see you. Adam's got big birthday coming up soon, so hopefully we'll get to see him as well. Quite excited. Man, peace, love, life, people. Therapy Army is ravioli time. Pizza, mamma mia. Yeah.